When Prince Harry announced he was marrying Meghan Markle in 2017, most people expected polite smiles, warm congratulations, and maybe a celebratory toast. What he got instead was Prince Philip, the one royal who never sugarcoated anything, delivering a line so sharp it practically echoed through the palace walls. One steps out with actresses, one doesn't marry them. It was classic Philip, direct, cutting, and rooted in decades of watching history repeat itself. And according to new reports, he wasn't just being grumpy, he was being cautious. Because from the moment Meghan entered the royal orbit, Philip was one of the very few who refused to be charmed. To him, the parallels were uncanny. An American woman. A whirlwind romance. A future king's son hopelessly smitten. It was impossible not to think of Wallis Simpson, the woman for whom King Edward VIII abdicated the throne. Philip reportedly even gave Meghan a nickname, DOW, Duchess of Windsor. Subtle? Absolutely not. Predictive? Many think so. But Philip wasn't alone. William warned Harry to slow down. Other family members urged him to take his time. Harry ignored them all, convinced he had to rush because Meghan was nearing 35 and her biological clock was ticking, according to royal insiders. Then came the royal wedding. The global spectacle. The fairy tale. And almost immediately after, reality. Meghan discovered that being a princess was nothing like the books. Royal life meant rules, protocol, hierarchy, and a structure she couldn't control, the exact opposite of the world she came from. When the palace wouldn't bend, Meghan and Harry broke away. And Philip's patience? Gone. This was the man who gave up his naval career, his citizenship, even his surname to support the Queen. He simply couldn't understand why Meghan couldn't do the same. Why she wouldn't. Why she insisted on a voice, a platform, a brand. By the time Megxit happened in 2020, Philip was done. He refused to attend the Sandringham summit, slipping out before the meeting began, the royal equivalent of saying, "Handle it yourselves. I'm out." He didn't want involvement. He didn't want discussion. He didn't want drama. And many now wonder if his reluctance came from experience. Because long before Meghan, the royal family had already lived through a Hollywood cautionary tale, Prince Andrew and Koo Stark. Another American actress. Another whirlwind romance. Another media storm. And another relationship strangled by intense scrutiny, pressure, and royal protocol. Philip watched that story unfold in the 80s. He watched it break. He watched it burn. So when Meghan arrived, smiling, ambitious, charismatic, Philip recognized the pattern immediately. People say wisdom comes with age. Philip lived almost a century. He saw everything. He knew exactly what fame does to royalty and what royalty does to fame. Now, years later, with the Sussexes estranged from the family, living in California, launching memoirs, podcasts, documentaries, and endless headlines. Philip's warning feels less like criticism and more like prophecy. He wasn't trying to insult Meghan. He was trying to protect Harry. Protect the family. Protect the crown. But Harry didn't want a warning. He wanted a love story. And that's the tragic edge of this whole saga. Two men, one seasoned by history, one blinded by hope, looking at the same woman and seeing two very different futures.